us skeletons. So those streams were things that came from the Kinect sensor. The skeleton tracking is done in software on the computer. It can, if I lift my legs here, you can see my feet with the V1. With the V2, there's V1 is 20 joints, V2 is 25. And the joints are also placed more anatomically correctly. So you can see the shoulders are more correct in terms of having, a center and outside. The hips are placed where your hips would be rather than just kind of like somewhere in your femur. Right. And there's a neck joint. There's also several more hand joints. So with V1 you have a wrist and a hand. With V2 you have a wrist, a hand, and a thumb tip and a fingertip. So you can kind of have this kind of claw going thing going on. You can tell it's thumbs up and thumbs down sometimes. So a lot more fidelity. You can also kind of see the response rate. So you notice these circles on the V2. This is a new feature for the SDK itself. It's doing hand tracking. Now the V1 does do hand tracking. It's not integrated into the body system though. And the V1 can tell grip and open hand. And it can also tell whether you're pushing or not. It's part of the Kinect Interactions feature. The V2 has open hand and grip. You can see it goes from green to red. And it's pretty immediate. It works in a variety of orientations, and they use a really complicated machine learning technique that trained all of this, and they manually labeled hundreds of thousands of cases, and there's actually a good presentation in Build 2013 about the machine learning process they used. But they've also added a new one, which they call lasso, but it's really like two-finger pointing. So two-finger point turns blue, open, point. It works with one finger point, but it's not quite as reliable as two. It's just about the area that it can see.
About 3.
So,
Same.
So 4 it looks like an open hand. 3 is kind of
just like 1.
You could do these two maybe. It can actually tell the difference between my pinky and my ring finger up, and my first and second finger up.
So you can speak sign to it? No.
Well, sign language is an ongoing research project. The tricky thing for real sign language recognition is that the speed at which people actually sign is so fast that it's only like one frame that they would see a particular signal. And they also have to have better hand tracking. Now, you can do like full hand skeletons, and several, we've done that, and then later other people have done that, but usually that requires a bit closer range. The things that Microsoft provides out of the box works for the full range of the sensor. So the hand tracking all the way, I can go farther back from this wall, but all the way back here is still reliable for tracking the hands. So 2 hands. You stand up with me? Multiple people.
6 people.
We could, if we have room here, fit 6 people, and we'd be able to see it with the V2. With the V1, you'd only be able to track 2 of them. So you can see there's one little dot on the V1 because it knows that there's a person here, but it's only tracking 2 of the skeletons. And we can actually choose which 2 skeletons, but with V2 it's been improved so much we don't need to have that restriction.